No. Scene set today. I'm at Mum and Dad's house. It's Good Friday. It's well into Good Friday, obviously, over here. It's in the afternoon now, just after 4:00. So we came out here with the kids. That's a little bit, it's about a 30-minute drive from Sydney city centre. So I'm just having a relaxing time and really happy to come on and speak to you guys.
Lovely. What about, are you surprised to see Frank back in till the end of the season at least?
Well, I was surprised at the decision. I don't think there would have been anyone around who wouldn't have been a little bit aghast at the actual decision. And I'm not surprised in terms of the way that the things have panned out. What I mean by that is that obviously Julian Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique, two of the front runners, I would have thought that they probably would have said, especially Luis Enrique, who can start up right now. Yeah, he would take it up right now, but he'd probably be more suited to taking it at the end of the season, and definitely with Nagelsmann, because obviously he's got still a contractual situation with BeIN that needs to be resolved if he is to go to another club. So really, who better to bring in but somebody who's got the DNA of Chelsea, in his blood, in Frank Lampard, who's been there before, who knows a lot of the players. And I think really it's a smart move, considering the fact, obviously, that they're not going to make a decision with the long term until the end of the season. In terms of now what he needs to go and do, he needs to turn around the mentality. I took note of what Ray said about practicing and training, but when it comes to match day, it's different. And I think this is one of the reasons that Frank's been brought in, because he's exactly right. You could have the perfect training sessions all week, but on match day, for whatever reason, your mentality is not right. Frank's mentality always has been and always will be very, very positive. And they've got nothing to lose, and I'd be very wary. Real Madrid obviously going to the game this week as favourites, but very, very wary. And Carlo Ancelotti knows Frank very well from his time at Chelsea. But they've got nothing to lose, and the team with Chelsea's talent with nothing to lose are very dangerous indeed.
Yeah, Bozzy, the one thing that most Chelsea fans will be looking at, saying, "What does he change?" I mean, I thought they got a great squad of players, but I don't think Graham Potter got the right team, and he didn't know the best team he could pick. No. Now, the big change is now Mason Mount, people like that, who's been out in the cold a little bit. Would he get an opportunity? Because Frank obviously got a great relationship with Mason. So the interesting thing for every Chelsea fan is, what does he change to make it different?
Well, we could actually spend the next probably half an hour of the show talking about that. Just to cut it really, really short, the biggest problem Graham Potter encountered was the fact that he had so many good players and he was unable to make his mind up what his best team was. And not only that, he was unable to make his mind up where was the best avenue of creating goals was going to come from. He preferred the wing backs. I'm not a great fan of wing backs providing the majority of your chances from, because they're fullbacks for a reason. They're wing backs for a reason. They're not out and out wingers. So I think the biggest change, he's got to decide. I would go with two wide men. He's got the, you could say, the capabilities of all the types of players to provide the majority of crosses, to spread that park out. So then if you do play a Mason Mount or whoever you do play in the centre, they will also have more time and space. The defence should sort itself out. I would go back to a 4 at the back. For me, the 3 at the back's a little bit too confusing for him, and keep it as simple as possible. And Ray, so do you, Alan, regardless of that's at the highest level. And because of the fact that he hasn't got a great deal of time to work with the boys on the training ground, he's got to hit the ground running and keep it as simple as possible for the players. And they've got to go out there. And we've been watching them for a while, where it's difficult to explain as a pundit the feeling you get inside your stomach. But that feeling, it's like a gut feeling. You can think to yourself, they look vulnerable here and they don't look like they're going to score. Well, he needs to change that. That's down to their mentality. That's down to their energy. And he can do that. He's got the added advantage, like you said, of Kante coming back in, which will provide excellent cover. But for me, that's got to be the biggest tactical change, to use proper either wingers who are going to be coming in or going out, either way. But people like Mudryk, people like that, people like Ziyech, who are used to being in that position and whose job is to create goals.
Bozzy, listen, we're out of time. Great to talk.
Cheers,
Have a
Bozzy.
lovely Easter. Say hello to the kids and your mum and dad. Thank you.
Likewise. Great Easter to all you out there.
Nice one, pal.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.